come today because we're gonna harvest some milk for the children. This mother here, you can see she has a very nice udder. She has one kid on her, and that kid is not able to manage the amount of milk that she has on her. If you look behind here, you can see her udder attachment. Come and look at this udder attachment. She has very nice udder attachment. Very nice. Which kid is her kid? Is it that spotted one? Yeah. This is her kid. How old is this kid? 2 weeks old. Look at that pretty color. It's a ram? Yes, it's a ram. This is one of our Nubians, and this is her kid. Very nice. You can see how he's growing very well, because he alone drinking all this milk. So we're going to take some of this milk right now. Children come to watch us today. They wanted some goat milk. Nathan, do you like goat milk? What do you like about goat milk?
Cream. You can make cream.
You can make cream? So you like to eat the cream from the goat milk? Okay. Right.
That's all.
As you can see, we've got a lot of kids. I think we have about 27 kids now. You can see them all over. Some of these mothers on this side is due to have kids soon, and some of them have some kids over there. Some very nice kids are over this side. And we come today to check on the goats. So, this is Trevor Bernard. I'm here to talk about some more Small Ruminants business. And today's topic, I'm just going to have a look and have a slight discussion on Boer goats in Jamaica. You can hear in the background I have these roosters and common fowl, as we call them. I have them all over the facility. They walk around and scratch the ground and clean up all the insects and keep the environment clean. So I don't have any purebred Boer goat anymore, and I don't have a Boer ram anymore. I've actually stopped rearing Boers. I plan to do it again, but I gave it a break for a little while because I have to improve my facility to rear these animals. One of the things is that I have found Boer goats very technical and difficult to rear because they require absolutely excellent nutrition. For them to reach their full growth potential, you have to give them bag feeding. You need feeding with energy and the proteins and all the minerals and everything. I feed my goats on silage, as you know, fresh cut grass and other waste material also. Now, Boer goats originated from South Africa. And as you know, South Africa is a very dry region. So Boer goats were bred and grown in dry desert-like conditions. They do very well in those dry conditions. And the problem is when you carry them into the wetter regions like Jamaica, some of our parishes like maybe Portland, and you have so much rainfall, it's always wet. They don't do very well in the wet environment. Parasites, internal parasites is a big problem with the Boer goats. They can't manage the wetness and the rain and all of that. Our native goats, on the other hand, were bred in Jamaica, and over time they have evolved. A lot of things change. So now we have to be doing these slatted floor pens, rearing them above ground, and try to keep them off the ground. If not, you will be using a lot of chemicals all the time. You have to worm them very often. They struggle to manage the parasites, and you have to try and breed and help the animals to become resilient to the parasites. Now, because of this, in my judgment, Boer goats need to be reared off the ground. You need to just rear them in slatted floor environments and off the ground. And if you don't, you will have a lot of problems with internal parasites. And it will also affect their growth rate if you have to keep worming them and all these things. These goats will reach like 300 pounds and more. The rams get very, very, very heavy. Now, a lot of people talk about the savannah, and I want to tell you, the Boer we are talking about is the traditional Boer. And as you know, the traditional Boer was a red head and white body. These are not purebred Boers I have here. But that was the traditional Boer, the red head and the white body. Now, the other animals that are related, that are almost the same genetics, were the Savannah, the Kalahari red. Jamaicans love the red Boer, which is the Kalahari red. They also call them red Boer in America. They have them as red Boer, and they call them dapple and black dapple and brown dapple and painted and the solid black and solid brown, and all these other colors are there, and they are all related. They are all the same genetics. When the South Africans developed the Boer breed, they specifically selected for color, which was the traditional color, which was the Boer that became all over the world. So in Jamaica, we mainly have the traditional Boer. There's a lot of talk now we are going to import all the other colors into Jamaica. We'll have the black and the red and the painted and the dapple. All of those will be introduced into Jamaica next year. Now, Boer goat, as you know, is a very meaty animal. A lot of meat. They grow very fast, very, very good in your herd. Can make a big difference in your dollar value and the money that you can make out of these animals. But just that they require a lot more care and attention when you're breeding them. Also, another problem with the Boer goat is that the females don't produce a lot of milk. So sometimes, well, most times when they produce triplets, you have to help those kids. A Boer goat will not, I've never really seen a Boer goat feed 3 kids and do a very good job of it. You have to help them. Some of them can only maybe feed even 1 kid good. So you always have to supplement, and you have to do a lot of creep feeding. You have to make sure that your creep feeders are there, and you put them on forages and put them on the creep feeder, make them start eating bag feeding from a very early age. From like maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks, you put that bag feeding in front of them all the time, and they will start nibbling on it, because the mothers do not produce a lot of milk. And that's one of the reasons why I always tell farmers, put a milking breed on your native herd first. Put like a Nubian or Alpine or something, a milking type animal first, so that those offspring will have a lot of milk. And then those offsprings that have a lot of milk, you can put a purebred Boer ram on it and get the size that you want. So that F2 cross, is where I would put the Boer goat, and the F1 cross I would put like a purebred Nubian or so forth. And remember that the ram is half of your herd. Your herd, 50% of those kids that born is your ram genetics. Always remember, which is very, very important. So, hence the reason why I'm always telling farmers, if you're a beginner farmer or you're just starting up or you don't know a lot about goat, don't start with the Boer. Start with a native or a graded type animal. Start with a hardier animal and learn from that animal. And as you evolve and learn, then you can step up and start to put in your Boer and your purebred animals in your genetics as you go along. So thanks a lot for watching. I'm so happy to have brought this to you. And you know, don't get me wrong, I love the Boer goat. Everybody loves the Boer goat. I think it's the most sought after goat in Jamaica. Every farmer wants to have a Boer goat. But I just want you to know that they are not simple to rear. You have to spend a lot of time with them, and when kidding time comes, you have to be there when they are kidding. But sometimes those kids are so big and they don't come out so easy. You have to make sure you manage the feeding program when the mothers are pregnant. Because if you feed her too much and the kid get too big inside of her, she will have difficulty in having that kid, and she might lose the kid or lose the mother. So kidding is very, 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 very critical with the Boer goat. I always like when a Boer goat have twin. I don't like when they have one, because when they have one, that kid sometimes very big and very hard to come out. Twins are nice. Triplets, you know you're going to have to feed and help them. And I've seen 4. I've had Boers that had 4, and you know, I've had to help them because they can't manage on their own. With the Boer goats, you have to make sure that you're on target with the nutrition at all times, morning, noon, and night. Make sure you have good nutrition with them all the time. Make sure you are consistent with the feeding. Feed them the same all the time. Be consistent with that feeding. Make sure you always have fresh drinking water. Make sure you have minerals available to them all the time, because the Boer goat nutritional needs is very high. Their needs are very, very high, and they eat a lot and they require a lot of minerals and good energy. So I hope when you make your choices and you start rearing your Boer goats, you will have a lot of fun with them. They have very nice personalities. They can be very rough because the rams are very strong. My Boer rams used to lift me off the ground all the while. I became afraid of them sometimes because they are so powerful. But they tend to be very gentle animals, very friendly, and also have personalities. So enjoy your animals, and always you must rear the animals that you love and that you like being around and share your time with. Thanks so much for watching. Please continue to subscribe to my channel, and I really enjoy bringing these contents to you. I enjoy sharing my years of experience with all my farmer friends all over the world. Thanks.